everybody can hear me. I just want to say something that's on the mind of all of us, and that is what a special time this is. This lady right here has done, as you know, so much for St. John's, and I have promised I will not go into everything because it would take several hours. But it is really a pleasure for me to be able to do this because it gives an opportunity to share what all of you are thinking. What a wonderful time this is for this wonderful lady. Just wanted to go back a little bit in time. Nelda Wicklund and I were asked, yeah, that dates us, doesn't it? We wanted to have a youth director here at St. John's. And so Nelda and I were asked if we would line up some candidates for the job. And of course we were more than willing. The youth that we had were really, I think, eager for more organization. And so we said yes. The first person that we interviewed was Laurine. And must tell you that in that interview, we were so impressed. We're not going to interview anybody else. Her background, her knowledge, her ideas to get everyone involved. And so Laurine became the youth director at St. John's. Yay! Yay, indeed. And what motivates me to say this is her creativity. Wow, it was so great to see the excitement of the youth here at St. John's. The creative ideas she got them involved in. Got to say one other thing. Without a doubt, would you believe that because of the youth activities, bringing the kids together, that to this day, there are some kids who got to know each other there and are still very close in friendship. Wow. Thanks, really. That is wonderful on that. And then think of that. The ELCA, for instance, had youth groupings once a year, a big organization from all over the country, and they would come. And the kids are really still together, excuse me. The adults now are still together.
Some of them are grandparents.
Well, I mention all that because, now just think that when she left the position of youth director and moved over to the preschool, taking with her that kind of ideas that excited the youth. As, well, just an observer, or I should say on the board of the preschool, to see kids in the classroom and the excitement. What impresses me, Laurine, is to go into your room and she's teaching, almost said preaching, she's teaching, and to see those little kids looking up at her with exact attention, caring, and interest. And all of that has continued. If you haven't seen her or heard her lead those little ones in singing, then frankly, you've missed something. So, Laurine, what a pleasure. And what's even great is she's not going anywhere. She's staying with us.
I just have to say that I have been very blessed to be able to teach in the preschool, and it's been more than a job. It's obviously been the ministry of this congregation. It's been my
That's right.
ministry and focus for many years. And, and I probably wouldn't have retired except that my children do not live near here. And that's the main, people have asked me, what are you going to do in retirement? And basically, I want to be able to visit my family more. And I also would like to, well, I have a stack of books I haven't gotten to yet. I want to do some knitting for the Shell Ministry, but I'm staying here. Our director, Ms. Jackson, has said that she would like to keep me on as a sub, and I said that would be wonderful because this was not an easy decision, and I can wean myself away. In fact, I said I kind of need a long weekend. The reason my family is not here, well, the one daughter lives in New Orleans, so she's not coming out for that. My other daughter lives in North Carolina, and I can have a long weekend if I can go see them for a long weekend. The reason they're not here is they did not have a long weekend. My grandchild graduated from preschool down there on Friday, and they sent me pictures and everything. And so let me tell you about my grandchild. So she graduated on Friday, and when they gave out their diplomas, they asked them what they want to be since they're graduating. And I've asked some of the preschoolers who I had here, I asked them that sometimes too, and we usually get cute things like, they want to be Elsa or, something like that. But what she said was she wants to be a preschool teacher. And she really is. I think she's beginning to be qualified because she's been kind of a resource for me. They call every weekend, and I always ask what they're doing in preschool, and or I tell her, we're going to be doing this, do you have any ideas? And she always does, so that's been a good resource. And I just want to thank everyone. I have truly enjoyed teaching, and not that like every day is perfect. I can think of maybe 1 or 2 days I thought that the preschool would be better without the children, but more on the other end of the spectrum where and I can say this now because I'm not on the payroll, but more days I've just felt like I can't believe I get paid to do this. It's just been such a joy for me. So I want to thank the congregation because obviously St. John's has introduced me to this ministry, but I also want to thank the preschool and the board and all the support we get from them, and all the teachers who I've taught with during the years, it's just so neat to see them all here today. And I have to say, I taught at St. Luke when my children went to preschool. I live close to St. Luke, and I wanted them to go to a preschool that was close, where they would know that kindergarten might be in kindergarten with their friends and all. I knew the director there, so I had worked with her as Christian Ed director here. So anyway, they went to St. Luke. And this gentleman here, I'm sorry, Ken, but it's a long time ago that I taught at St. Luke. I had his children at St. Luke, and he was on the board at St. Luke. And for him to come today, I thought, oh my gosh, it's a long time. But just to see parents, past students, and all the people I've been in contact with over the years just kind of overwhelms me, and I just thank you all. And most of all, I should say, I'd like to thank the parents here who have shared your children with me, because that, you know, that's kind of what it's all about. And also the children, because I get all my hugs from them, so. So thank you all very, very much, and thank you for coming today.
Because we have another member of the board who has a few words to say. Kathy?
So I've been nominated, as you all know, Martha Wagner's our chair. Well, some of you might not, but a chair of our board, to present you with a couple of gifts from the board. So our first here is an idea from the staff and director. So give it a pull. Pull your ribbon. Let's see what we get. Okay. So many of you might know that Laurine is known for her pins. And so they thought she needed a pin. And the pin, I pull this out here, is her name. So that's the stem of a flower.
No, that had to be made because
It was made. And I'm going to reach on you and pin you. And it's a rose. So it's to remind you that now is your time to stop and smell the roses. And Tom was very good in talking about many of the connections. I don't know if some of you know, as she said, the shawl ministry, to be honest, especially after we've lost some key members, if it wasn't for Laurine, I don't think we'd have any shawl ministry left. And so I bring a demonstration. This is my son, Joseph Fitzgerald's baptismal blanket, which I still cherish very much. And to just point out that before your children are even born, Laurine is already thinking of the children of this church and of this world, and is knitting blankets prayerfully for their baptism or for their healing. And some of you, I know one of our members couldn't say, but if you're on our family or around this time, you know that Laurine keeps a special calendar, and it's called Cradle Notes. And as church members, we get a nice information every month of our child's lives until 36 months. And I never forget that beautiful handwriting that any of you know that Laurine has. She would come over to our pew and hand us that month's cradle notes, and that was, I have them all in the baby box. So, and she still does that and keeps track of that and orders things for that. So she really thinks of children on both sides of the church from beginning. And luckily, my children, I'm actually okay maybe if they fail one year. I mean, I don't tell them that, but I don't have graduating children. But just last Sunday, she also presents our graduates with a blanket to hand them finish college and go on to the next phase of their life. So Laurine really thinks of our children from before they're born to as they go off and transfer into adulthood. And she has also always been a choir member, and she was before evil COVID, she was our music teacher with the preschool. And so many concerts we love. And so this, the board presents to you, blue and yellow. A school bell for a perfect school teacher and singer. And it says, St. John's Preschool blesses Laurine Cooke for 26 devoted years.
I'm overwhelmed.
Now can you cut the cake?
Yeah.
I was going to say, now it's time to eat cake, as they say. Yes, ma'am.